Okay, gang. Well, it's Sunday morning. I think I'm gonna go ahead and remove this hood first. Just something I want to get done. And once I get to crawling around inside the car, removing more of the interior, getting nasty and dirty and dusty and gross and hot and frustrated. Last thing I want to do is climb out of there and then take this hood off. So I'm going to do that first. That's just going to kind of let me sort of get into this engine bay, and you know, one of the things I'm going to remove is this this steering column, and that'll help me do that. And yeah, I just kind of want to do it, so I'm going to do it. This is something a little different than what I've seen in the past. On other GMs, I've seen where they have plastic clips going all the way across, holding in the center bow. This is the center one. And in this case, there were these metal flanges, or tabs, and so I had to sort of hammer those out and bend them out in order to remove the middle bow. Here you see me prying one of the bows out of the clip in the middle. I was hoping to reuse these clips, but they are so brittle that I don't think any of them are going to be reusable. But you saw me it just turns and comes out of that top metal piece there. Now when removing the bow from the side, the bow just turns and just goes into a hole in the side of the side of the roof there, and it's just the tension of the bow that holds it. So you just kind of wiggle the bow and give it a yank with the vice grips, and then you can just wiggle the other side loose. It's pretty simple. Now you see me in my epic battle with this window crank, trying from every different direction to get it to pop loose, and I can't get it to do so. And I finally get so frustrated that I just start tearing the panel out. I mean, that panel's a throwaway anyway, but tearing the panel out and removing it that way so I can take a look, see what's going on, and get it removed. So the little clip you see here, that's the piece that holds the handle to the window regulator. The window regulator has a little knob coming out that has a groove in it, and that clip slides into the handle. That centerpiece has a couple of slots in it, slips into that handle, protrudes inward a little bit, and when you push the handle onto the window regulator, that clip catches the groove in the little knob on the window regulator. This is the special tool that's made to remove that clip. Basically slides behind the handle, catches the clip, and you see those two little wing areas on the inside. They kind of catch the edges of the clip and spread it out, and you should be able to wiggle off the handle once those are spread out. I'll put a link to this tool in the description down below. This one worked fine. I think there are a lot of them out there. Less than 11 bucks. So this would be the configuration you'd see if the clip was installed correctly in the correct direction. This is the way it would look, relative to the handle, wherever the handle is facing. Just take note though that the clip can be installed exactly the opposite direction. The handle is not really made for it, but it can happen. In fact, on my car, several of them were facing exactly 180 degrees out, but it would have to be one way or the other. So let's get to the problem I was having specifically. Here you see a plastic flange that's mounted behind the handle, and that flange sits pretty much flush against the handle. And in order for that tool that I was showing you to work, it has to be inserted between that flange and the handle. And I was inserting it and it was going behind that flange, which, as you can see, if that's the case, it never even comes close to that clip, and so it doesn't come out of there. And so once I realized that, I didn't have any problem with any other handles on the car. It was something I had probably experienced 30 years ago and had forgotten.
This is a really interesting setup on this car. I haven't run across it before. A lot of the older GMs, there's multiple tracks. So here you see just a little track in the back, and there's a track running down in the front, kind of extending down from here. It's a track kind of extending down, and a lot of older GMs, the tracks, there's this track system mounted here, and then there's another track system mounted in the back. Now those cars are not post cars. In other words, this piece does not exist on those cars. So I guess this is the reason why on this car you get away with not having that full track mount system. The other thing is that then on some other cars where they have all those tracks, the window regulator itself has a wheel or multiple wheels, and the window has multiple connectors where it slides into those tracks. Sorry, over here. So the window on a lot of vehicles, other vehicles I've seen, has multiple of these connection points, and they have like a grooved, not really, like a wheel on them, and they slide into these tracks I'm talking about. And there would be a track on the regulator, this piece, and then there would be tracks on the front and back, and there would be maybe 3 wheels attached to the window that then those would slide into the tracks. In this case, looks like there's only one attachment point that I can see, and that's right here. And it looks like this is a spring clip. It just clips the window on. So what I'm going to do is I didn't really find any information, just digging online. I didn't see any information about how to remove that spring clip. I probably could have dug deeper, but I'm just going to see if I can compress that spring clip and unhook the window. And then, like I said, on cars that are not post cars, in other words, they don't have this post, the window just kind of comes out this way, right? And that's easy. I'm hoping that either I'm going to be able to probably turn the window down in here and bring it out up here this way. But we'll see. The struggle continues. That sucked. The window slipped out of my hand.
Well, I have to admit, at the time, I was pretty sure that I somehow had dropped the window and it had shattered, when it hit the bottom. But watching it here in slow motion, I realized it actually shattered in my hand. So this was the moment just before calamity struck. And basically the window is loose and it's just sticking in this spot here. So it turns out that the channel where the window sits, in that post my right hand is on, it's kind of C-shaped. If you could look at it straight down from the top, it'd look like a C. And the window has a little knob, a little protrusion built on the top of it that's made to stay inside of that groove. And I thought maybe, I could just sort of wiggle that and get it to come out. Anyway, I think that's enough of that. At this point I've jumped over to the other side of the car because I wanted to prove to myself that I could actually remove this window without breaking it. So it's really hard to see. Unfortunately, it's not a good angle, but what I've done here is I've already got the clips off. I've already got everything done, and I basically just walked the window down into the cavity there until that little knob that's at the top of the window came out of the groove in that post. And so after that I did have to once again remove the inside trim, or the inside felt piece there, the weather stripping piece, and after that it was just a matter of sort of slowly lifting it and walking it out. No problems this time, knock on wood.
Hey gang, well, I think that's going to do it for this one. My goal here is to share the entire process of getting this car restored, the journey along the way, and that includes the mistakes. I'm not trying to, hide the fact that I do make mistakes now and then. I'm learning as I go, and frankly, looking at your mistakes, learning from them, adjusting, moving forward, that's the only way we get better. Yeah, so thank you to everyone who's watching. I appreciate that. And, if you're interested in more, obviously like and subscribe. Yeah, and as you can see, my shirt today is Fitzy's Fabrications. Got a YouTube channel, and he is doing body work, and he has some really innovative ways of using multiple pieces of sheet metal to create complex shapes, and especially for someone like me who doesn't have a full metalworking shop, fabrication shop. He's got some really neat ideas, and I can't wait to get started using some of those, or trying some of those when I'm doing the body work on this thing. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.